Maulana, Yani Madad Kareem, Subhanallah, Subhanallah, beautiful zikr. Um, Let me share my screen. I have this kalam here from the book Anwar-e Qiyamat. Ali, 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 Ali. With Maula's name, let us review this kalam. I'm going to sing this and then we'll start our session. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nur Maulana, Shah Kareem Hussaini Hazimam. Please help us, Maula. Help us. ذکر خفی نور جلی علی 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 تجھ سے فدا ہے ہر ولی علی 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 عشق خدا تجھی سے ہے نور خدا تجھی سے ہے عشق خدا تجھی سے ہے نور خدا تجھی سے ہے جود و عطا تجھی سے ہے علی 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 علم و ہنر تجھی سے ہے لال و گوہر تجھی سے ہے علم و ہنر تجھی سے ہے لال و گوہر تجھی سے ہے قند و شقر تجھی سے ہے علی 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 قند و شقر تجھی سے ہے علی 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 نور قلوب مومنان قبلہ پاک قدسیان نور قلوب مومنان قبلہ پاک قدسیان شاہ شہان دو جہان علی 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 حبیب من طبیب من قریب سے بھی قریب من حبیب من طبیب من قریب سے بھی قریب من علی 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 اس کے جمال پاک کو کیسے میں حسن گل کہوں اس کے جمال پاک کو کیسے میں حسن گل کہوں جنت میں جمال یار کو حق ہے جمال کل کہوں علی 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 تیرے عشاق سے فدا ہے نصیر ہے نصیر تیری درگاہ کا گدا یہ حقیر یہ حقیر علی 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 We are celebrating still Imam's birthday. He is Ali of this time. Hidden remembrance, manifest light. Ali, 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 Ali. Every wali is sacrificed for you. Ali, 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 Ali. Wali means friend of Ali. So every wali is sacrificed for you. Ali, 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 Ali. Divine love is because of you. Luminous guidance is because of you. Generosity and munificence are because of you. Ali, 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 Ali. Knowledge and arts are because of you. Rubies and pearls are because of you. Candies and sugar are because of you. Ali, 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 Ali. The light of Momin's hearts, the holy Qibla of pure entities, the King of Kings of both the worlds. Ali, 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 Ali. My beloved, my physician, the closest of the close to me. Ali, 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 Ali. Ali, 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 Ali. How can I call his pure beauty the beauty of flowers? In paradise, the beloved's beauty is truly the universal beauty. Ali, 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 Ali. Nasir is sacrificed for your lovers. Nasir is sacrificed for your lovers. This humble entity is the beggar at your court. Ali, 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 Ali. Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. What a beautiful way of praising Imam and describing his attributions so simply and so beautifully with so much of love. This book, Anwar-e-Qiyamat, is all about means of spirituality, which is Imam-e-Zaman. Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Shukran lillah, walhamdulillah. All right, let's see if I can see my screen here. So today we will continue with our Farman number 17, Munjawari, December 28th, 1893. And we were on page number, we had finished the page number 70. So we'll start from here. Let us recite the salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Tamaru badan ane age shakal thi. We'll have to read from here. એવું વિચાર નહીં કરજો કે રૂ બિહિશ્તમાં જાશે તેમ નથી. અસલ હાલતમાં બિહિશ્તમાં જાશે. જેને સારી બંદગી કરી હશે તે મુર્તઝા અલીની હુઝુરમાં બેસશે. We'll start from here, otherwise we'll not be able to continue. Bismillah. બિહિશ્તમાં સારી ચીજો અને મેવા છે તે ત્યારે મળશે કે જ્યારે પોતપોતામાં હેત પ્રીત રાખશે. બેશમાં બાગ મોટા છે, મેવા સારા છે, મકાન સારા છે. જેને શનાખત હશે તેને તે મકાન મળશે. So we would continue from this part that Imam had guided us that in Bahisht, do not think that this physical worldly house or worldly things will be there. Those who are in recognition, they are the only one who will get this luminous house, royal bungalows in paradise, right? And then this is a continuation. એવો વિચાર નહીં કરજો કે રૂહ બિહિશ્તમાં જાશે. Do not think that the soul is going to enter into paradise. It is not like that. Imam says it is not like that. Asal halatma bihishma jashi. In its original form, in its original body, it will enter in paradise. જેણે સારી બંદગી કરી હશે તે મુર્તઝા અલીની હુઝુરમાં બેસશે. Those who have done good bandagi, they will be with Murtaza Ali, they'll be sitting with Murtaza Ali. So let's just discuss this paragraph to be able to continue. First, Imam says, do not think that you will enter, your soul will enter in the paradise. So we think of our soul, which we don't see, right? And we see this invisible thing, this entity which we don't know, but it exists, it is a soul. And we always talk about our soul in allegorical form, like drop of water from ocean or ray of sun. Different ways of we describe the soul, but in reality we have not seen the soul. It is hidden from our eyes. It is not visible to us. So something invisible. Imam is saying, do not think like that. It's not true. He's saying, in our original form. So what is our original form? So we learned from the books of our Buzrugwar-e-Deen that there is another body, there is another being, which is called subtle body, right? And there are different terms, subtle body, celestial, astral body, whatever terms, right? The real proper terminology is Jusai Ibdaya, meaning our luminous body, our Nurani Badan, which Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah actually says in one of his Farman, that you cannot go meet him in this body, but in your Nurani Badan. So here Imam is talking about Nurani Badan, that if we were to enter in paradise, we will not be entered like in this being, in this body or our soul. It is actually a body. It has an existence, but it is original form of our being. And we will enter in paradise in that body. In other words, those who have not attained that body during their lifetime will have hard time to enter in paradise, meaning there are darjat. And Imam has very clearly guided us in Farman that you can only fly and meet him if you were to have Nurani Badan. So without the Nurani Badan, we cannot enter in paradise or meet him. So we all seek actually Nurani Badan during our lifetime. And then Imam says that those who have done good bandagi. Now question when we hear this word sari bandagi, meaning good bandagi. So is there a bad bandagi as well? How can that be? Bandagi is bandagi. So bandagi can also be seen in two different ways. That's very strange, right? We all thought that those who are doing bandagi, they are moments and they are good people and that's it. But even in bandagi, there is a category, meaning there is a good bandagi and there is not so good bandagi, right? Because bandagi is good, it cannot be bad. So there is a good bandagi and there is not so good bandagi. How do we understand that? So the way Imam is guiding us here, that those who have done good bandagi, they will be with Murtaza Ali and they'll be sitting with him. So who are those who will not be sitting with Imam? That should be our question. There are very many, Jama'ati members who would sit in bandagi. But what is their intention? What do they desire? Do they desire Nurani Badan or they do desire, Ya Mola, I'm ill, make me healthy. Physically ill, make me healthy. Or I have this issues going on in my family. Please, help my family or make these problems go away. Or any sort of these kind of, desires or worries, we make that our intention. Now here I'm not saying that we do not ask our Imam when we are sick or are we having issues in family or financial issues, any kind of issue. Who are we going to ask? We're going to ask our Mawla, right? But we have to have this much of understanding with knowledge that these are all worldly things. And these come at the end, not at the time of bandagi. Our bandagi intention is not related to our worldly life at all. At all. So we do not pray or ask, when we sit in bandagi for worldly things. We ask for Nurani Badan. We ask for Didar, because that's the biggest intention. So those whose intentions are not set at the right direction, they do bandagi, but it is not so good bandagi. Why? Because what we are desiring, worldly things. And worldly things are not permanent. Worldly things we receive and it will be finished, and again next day there will be something else. Peace, Maula Ali says in his Kalam-i Maula, एक दिन खुशी से ढोल बजाया, दूसरे दिन हुआ मुआ कोई गम, भली खुशहाली आके बद केरी, दम दमत की होएसी ना होएसी का. Maula Ali says in Kalam-i Maula that worldly happiness is such that today you will be happy and you are drumming and you are dancing and you're so happy, and tomorrow something bad has happened. This is life. This is our physical life. So how can you trust this worldly happiness, right? Seek that happiness which is permanent. Seek that happiness which is permanent, which is akibat, of happiness of hereafter. Does not mean again that we should not celebrate or be happy in the physical world. Please do understand that. But that is not our focus. We live in the worldly life, we seek happiness, but we have this realization that these are temporary. I do not have to put all my heart or attachment to just this happiness. I am happy, I will remain happy. And it is this happiness is because of Imam's blessings. So let me remember Imam as well. Make Imam the center of everything. So when we understand that concept, there is no harm in the worldly happiness and worldly celebration, because Shaitan will not get that entry to keep our mind only to the worldly things and bring us out from the happiness which is of hereafter, which is permanent. So we understand with these explanation examples that not so good bandagi and good bandagi. There is another term which you would normally hear, like for example, you hear most of the time, there is a knowledge and then there is a true knowledge. When we study Farameens or books of our Buzurgwar-e-Deen or Quran, it is all knowledge. But then within the knowledge, there is a true knowledge. Knowledge is not bad, but then it has to be true knowledge, meaning that there are levels in everything. Until we do not understand these levels, darjat, we will have difficulty to seek for the highest, most, level which we should be seeking. Imam wants us to be seeking highest, most levels. So our intention, our focus should be what is the best and seek that. So we automatically let go of those things which are not true or not good. There is bad, there is good, not so good, and really good, So that's how we kind of continue to filter these things, to stay focused and to strive for the best. That's what Imam wants, meritocracy. So that's what exactly it means. So those who will do bandagi, understanding the meritocracy in bandagi, they will be sitting with Imam. Anybody cannot sit with Imam. Even in the physical life, in our Jama'at, we see whole Jama'at, but only Amaldarans who have years of services, physical services, and they sit with the Imam physically. But when his darbar will be there in the hereafter and in Akhirat, those who have given the sacrifices, those who have offered that khidmat. Which khidmat? Batini khidmat. Good bandagi. All those seeking true knowledge, seeking the truth, will be sitting with the Imam. Everybody cannot. That's the Kanun. Hazir Imam, when he comes for Didar, everybody is sitting in the Darbar and Didar hall. But then there are levels, categories. Those who go 8 hours early or 10 hours early, sitting in the front line or second line. All others who, did not want to sit and sacrifice come late and they're sitting in the back. So I'm just giving this example to make it clear that there are darja. And every darja which we see in front, it is because of their sacrifice. So here, when we are understanding sari bandagi, good bandagi, it actually encompasses our true knowledge, our actions, good deeds, our sacrifices, our intentions, our prayers, everything comes into that category of sari bandagi. It is only those, actually very few of those, because majority do not stay focused on the target. They miss the target. Because if we don't do this filtering, not so good, good, bad, very good, there is darajat. If we don't do that, we will remain at a lower level and not be able to reach to the higher level where Imam wants us to be. Imam wants us to be meritocratic. And meritocracy, we apply only our physical life, which is half the task, right? In reality, meritocracy is also needed in our Batni practices and our Batni therapy as well. The Imam is guiding us by saying, Tamaru badan ane age shikal thi khuda paase hasho, ane tame juwan thasho, ane tamara modha upar noor thashe, tem nathi, ane 80 વર્ષના બુઢા જવાન થશે તેમ પણ નથી પણ નૂરાની કાયાથી બિહિશ્તમાં જાશે. Now this is, we all know from fundamentalist, or what do we call them? There's a term. Those who do not understand and they are very orthodox and they read the Quran and they think that we will go to the heavens and we'll be younger and we will have this and that. All those actually are needing ta'wil. So Imam, without going into ta'wil, is just feeding our intellect, making us think critically, that do not think that you will go into this, in this body or in this face in the heavens, and do not think that you will have light on your faces and Anyone who is of 80 years old will become young. Do not think all those things. Why? Because these are all tanzil. This is all revelation in Quran which is given. People, when they read translation, they think that is true, and without seeking the ta'wil. Imam is telling us that you will go into the heavens in Nurani Kaya. And we talked about Nurani Kaya, Nurani Badan, that you will enter into the Bihisht in your Nurani Badan. And that's what we seek. We want to detach and progress ourselves from density to subtlety. And it is possible during our lifetime that we want to become more and more subtle. And there are ways and means in the process and the journey to become subtle during our lifetime. Imam is saying that you can only enter in paradise in your subtle body, in your Nurani Badan. તમે એ ખબર નથી બહિષ્ટમાં કોઈ ગળો નથી અને એવું વિચાર નહીં કરજો કે બુઢો હશે તે જવાન થશે અને બહિષ્ટમાં જશે. Don't think there is this have this insight. Imam is saying that all these things which we hear about paradise, they are not true in the sense that we need to seek ta'wil. Like majority of people think, right, that they will be young and there'll be hurs and gilman and all that. All those terminologies, all those things which we hear about paradise, they are revelations, they are tanzil, and we need to seek ta'wil, which is very different from what we understand with our partial needy intellect. We seek ta'wil to understand that. So Imam is, it's debunking our thoughts, our concepts about the paradise. So we have to be very careful when we read translation of Quran without understanding, without knowing the ta'wil, we will not be able to get the essence. In this Farman, Imam is teaching us that, debunking all the concept and saying, focus on the essence. Seek ta'wil. એવું કહ્યું છે કે અક્કલ સાપ જેવી અને દુઃખ હોય ત્યારે કબૂતર જેવું થવું જોઈએ. સાપ જેવા થાય, કોઈને દુઃખ ના આપે, એવા થઈ શકો તો સારું છે. Now, it's so beautiful in Gujarati, the way it says, એવું કહ્યું છે. I am saying it like that. You hear me that I'm saying very with emphasis. Imam is saying, because Imam is talking about all allegorical concepts which are given in Quran. So Imam is like emphasizing that I want you to understand. And again, he's given another example, which is very strange and very interesting. Imam is saying that your intellect should be like a snake. And if you were to be in troubles, in problems, in trials, and tribulations, you should be like a dove. And if you are like a snake, meaning you have intellect, meaning that you will not hurt anybody. You will not take advantage of anybody. You will not hurt anybody. If you understand, if you can do this, then it is good for you. So let's discuss this, because this is a very interesting example. So when Imam gives example of a snake, what is the characteristic of snake? We all know that snake is very good in taking revenge. Is Imam talking about that characteristics? No, Imam is not talking about the negative characteristic. Imam, when he's giving example, he's giving the example of the positive characteristic. So we have to look for what is the positive in snake. Snake, snakes are known for protecting the treasure. They are very good in keeping the guard of the treasure. They will never let any unworthy come near to the treasure. Meaning, our intellect should be so sharp. We should be so sharp, so wise, so clever, that when we are seeking knowledge, we seek intellectually all these sharpness. And when we give knowledge, we are not excited in giving everything because we have no knowledge. We have not made our intellect sharp as a snake. So what happens? We want to give it to everybody. No. This knowledge, this path is actually in darjah. It has to be given step by step. Meaning, those who are unworthy, you do not disclose their secrets. You weigh them intellectually and you go step by step. Because if you give the treasure to unworthy, what will happen? They'll waste it. They will not understand what is the value of it, because they're unworthy. They have not realized the importance of it. So it is very important that we have that intellect, and Imam gives that intellect. How are we going to get it? Our intellect is partial, need intellect. It is only Imam who gives us this intellect, this understanding, that we do things step by step. So there are those who do not do things step by step. Meaning, what are their motives? They're not following the farmans. And I'll stop here because we need to think. If we don't follow the farmans, where do we fall in? So Imam's hukum, Imam's guidance is that we have to have our intellect. We want that attribution of snake, that the intellect is so strong, so powerful, so wise, so clever, that do not give out anything to unworthy. Meaning, on this path of seeking Ruhaniyat, walking on the path of seeking hereafter, we have to increase our worth. We have to increase our ranks to be able to have that worth that Imam will disclose his secrets in our being. If we are not worthy, it's not happening. So we have to use our intellect and seek the true knowledge, good bandagi. All the key is in those terms, and walking on the path step by step. There is another example which I used to give because people would ask, why this and why not? If you have a baby and you start feeding them nihari or biryani because you like it, what would you do to that child? You'll take his life. Is that your love or is it your selfishness? Because you do not want to cook right for the child or give the child what he can digest. Because you like it, you will force that on others. So we have to be very careful. This path, the way Imam says, it's like a sword, right? We are walking on the talwar ki dhar. We need to learn how to walk on this sharp edge of sword. Otherwise, we will be injured, we'll kill ourselves, we'll fall down. So it is very important to realize that one has to be worthy to seek the secrets of Imam. Imam's secrets are not given just like that. So our intellect should be like a snake, but when we are going through trials and tribulations and difficulties, our heart, our mind has to be so pure, so innocent, like dove. Now, what is the characteristic of dove? Very innocent, very masoom, right? Very, very pure. The meaning here is that when we are going through tests and trials and tribulations, meaning there is somebody who we can blame. There is some culprit who has caused this in our life. There is somebody who has hurt us, who has caused this trauma in our life, or taken advantage of our naiveness, our innocence, or any kind of example. Deceived us in knowledge, did not teach us rightly, did not teach us that worth is so important, and share the secrets of Imam. So many levels you can apply these things. So many levels. We don't judge others. We don't blame them. We do not tell that they are hurting us. We pray for them. These are the mu'mineen who will elevate themselves in the court of Imam. Heart should be like dove, especially when we are hurt. Because when we are hurt, what happens? What does a snake do? The negative characteristic. He'll take revenge. He'll never forget. You hurt me, I'll get back to you. No matter how long, whatever, I will get back to you. That's not a characteristic of a mu'min. Mu'min is forgiving. Mu'min is generous. Mu'min will pray for those who are hurting them. It is difficult. Is it easy? No, it is very difficult. It is very difficult. But this is what are the expectations. Increase the worth. So Imam says, if you become like that, then it will be good for you. Meaning if it happens for you, if it becomes possible for you, meaning it is very difficult. It is not easy. If you're able to do that, then it will be good. Meaning we have to really work hard and become that mindful about our intellect and about our thoughts and our hearts and emotions we have. 313 હકીકતી એક દિલ થાય અને સાપ જેવી અક્કલ રાખે, કબૂતર જેવા ગરીબ થાય ત્યારે ઝહુરા થશે. Very beautiful guidance Imam is giving us, that there are 313 moments. Imam says if there are 313 hakikati, those who are walking on the true path, and the number is 313, if they all become one heart, one mind, and their intellect is like a snake, and their heart is like poor like dove, then only zahurat will happen. What is this zahurat here? Manifestation. So here it is, Imam is again using an example. 313 people, 313 Jama'ati members, 313 moments. Take any example, because there are different levels I just mentioned. It is very hard, even if you take a couple, husband and a wife, brother and sister, or two sisters, or two friends, to have one mind, to be wanting and desiring and thinking in same way. Do you see that is being possible? It is extremely difficult. And within our own family, within our siblings, couples, take any example. Everybody wants different and they think different. How difficult it is to have 313 people, 313 people desiring one and the same thing, having one heart. Only those mu'mineen, only those who are seeking true knowledge and they understand the mission of Imam and they become one with the mission of Imam, their heart desires one thing, then only this can happen. 313 mu'mineen. This reminds me that when Maula Ali, after Gadire Khum, Maula Ali says that I could have announced my Imamat if there were 40 people. There were not even 40 like-minded, hakikati, mu'mineens with Imam. 313 is a very big number, very big number. So what we are understanding here, if there are 313 hakikati mu'mineen, when they are one heart, and their intellect is same, at the same level, they know the worth, the importance of the worth, and seeking the meritocratic level of bandagi. When they become like that, their hearts are poor, very, very humble, very humble. Then only Imam will manifest in their personal world. If I may take it further, Qiyamat will happen. Otherwise, it is not happening. It is difficult to have 313 mu'mineens truly desiring one thing. You will see division, you will see competition, but not understanding to remain with the truth. 313 is a very big number. And I'm referring to the example with Maula Ali. There were not even 40 people. So Ali Allah, madad farma, ya Maula, madad farma. તમે ખબર નથી કે એક ઘર દેવામાં, એક ગાળ દેવામાં કેટલા ગુના છે. જો ખબર હોય તો ગાળ ના દેવું. Imam is jumping here completely. Imam said, Imam gave to some people sitting there in that Jama'at in 1893, high level of, guidance. And then immediately Imam dives differently, changes the direction. And now he's talking about good deeds. Why? Because there are different levels of Jama'ati members and everybody has to receive guidance. So Imam, when we critically read Imam's Faramin and understand every line, we would realize that there are different levels of Jama'ati members sitting in front of Imam. And Imam is guiding according to the level. Now here, Imam is giving us guidance about using bad words. Today, in today's time, bad words have become kind of part of languages because of the media influence. It is so normal to hear bad words in normal language when people are talking at work, and you would be like, really? Did I just hear that? What has happened to people? Where are our filters? We let everything, anything come to our ears. If we do that, of course, it will become part of us. So Imam is guiding us that if you realize that how bad it is to use one bad word, if you were to know that, you would never use that. Never use that. So we have to realize. Sometimes I wonder, actually, I have witnessed this in younger kids, the way they would, if there's a difficulty, some people, I recall my parents and they would say, oh, Ali Allah, or Ya Ali. And here in kids, you hear different words, and I'm like, what has happened? Why can't you remember Mawla? It's all influence from the outside world. So we have to be very mindful how we are behaving, what we are watching, how we are teaching our children, our grandchildren, so we can, teach our generation that is also a level of purity. We cannot have this light in our being if our tongue is so impure, if our words are so impure. So I think we all understand that part. So let's move on. Dozak na duk ane behish na mewa ni દુનિયાને અગાઉથી ખબર પડે અને જોવે તો દુનિયાની દરકાર ન રાખે. Subhanallah. If we were to realize, if we were to have that insight, if we were to have that knowledge, if we were to have that imagination with knowledge and realization and insight, that what are the sorrows or difficulties or pain of being in hell versus happiness in paradise. If we were to know that, we would never worry about the worldly life. We would never worry about. Again, when I say that, does not mean that we leave our worldly life. No, we fulfill our duties. Our heart is not with it. What is that Gyanan? Jiv chale murtyu lokma surati akashe jaye. That the physical body is moving around in this world, but the dhyan, the attention is in the heavens. So we understand from the Ginans and this Farman. ત્યારબાદ મૌલાના હાજરી ઇમામે ફરમાવ્યું, महादन का रोया कुछ काम नहीं आवे. So Imam is probably quoting something worse, because Imam says that if you were to cry, Mahadan, referring to the end time of our lifetime, at that time we are crying and seeking forgiveness of our sins, it will not help. And it says roya, meaning, and we understand now that when we talk about crying or weeping, we are referring to Girya Uzari. But if we are crying only when we are about to pass away at the end time of our life, meaning we never learned the importance of Girya Uzari, doing of it during their lifetime. So at the end, you cry, it's not going to help us. It is all during our lifetime we got to do to be able to reach the destination. હંમેશા જોવો તો મોટાઈ ખુદાની છે. મોમિનના માટે નૂર હશે તે જોઈ. મોમિનના માટે નૂર હશે તે જોઈ. કેટલાક તે દિવસ અફસોસ કરશે કે શા માટે અમે આ સારા કામ ન કર્યા. હંમેશા જોવો તો મોટાઈ ખુદાની છે. હંમેશા. The word હંમેશા is actually is from ever lasting, ever living, always, right? If you were to look in that direction, in that way, with that understanding of true knowledge, you will realize that exalted status is only of Imam, of our Lord. Exalted status is only for our Imam. If a moment seeks nearness, closeness to Imam, to elevate, to become one with him, to become exalted with Imam, to elevate the ranks, all these terms will be correct when we explain that. If Momin wants that, it is available to Momin. However, if we are crying at the time of Mahadar, at the end time, and we are doing this regret, we are in regret, and we are saying, why didn't I do good deeds? Why didn't I do that? But Imam is saying, it's too late. It's too late. It is during this lifetime that we have to realize that we are poor. We are poor. We are nothing. It is not in our abilities. I am doing this, or I did this. There is no I. It is all him. It is he. In every direction, in everything, it is he. When we are able to see that, then we will become humble. Otherwise, it will be about me and mine. We will not have this humility. If you don't have humility, then there is no Imam. Only humble will have the place for Imam to be exalted. So I hope we understand that part as well. Murtaza Ali ni huzurma Java ware, Java વાળા છે તે બાતુની આંખથી જોવે છે. મુર્તઝા અલીને તેઓ આંખોથી જોવે છે પણ બાતુનથી મૌલા અલીનો નૂર જોવે છે. Only those who will be with Imam, who will be with Imam in the presence of Imam in the paradise, those who will have the Batni eyes, those who see Imam with their Batni eyes. So Batni eyes refer to what level? We all know when we seek knowledge, it is ilmul yaqeen, certainty of knowledge, right? But then there's a next level, which is the certitude of eye, meaning seeing things with inner eye. So Imam is referring to not only the level of knowledge here. Imam is saying that after seeking knowledge, open up your batin, and then you'll be able to see that how we are sitting with Imam in his presence. Only those who have these batni eyes will be able to see the light. They will be able to see the Imam. They will be able to sit with Imam. So if we are seeking knowledge at ilmul yaqeen, we don't want to stop there. And we want to protect whatever we have earned. It should not be stolen by the shaitan. We have to be very, very mindful. It is like walking on this talwar. You know, we can't walk on the edge, this sharp edge of this sword. We can't. But we are expected to. It is an allegory, meaning you have to be so careful that there is no way that shaitan can enter. So we have to really, really protect ourselves. You know, other farman I recall, Imam says in other farman that if you were to go out in rain, you have to wear a raincoat as well as umbrella. If you have one, not the other, you will get wet. Meaning we have to really protect ourselves. And we do know these two allegories, two examples is knowledge and ibadat. So knowledge, with knowledge, as we understood, there is knowledge and there is true knowledge. And there is worth within the knowledge. There are step-by-step learning in the knowledge. All these are interrelated concepts for us to integrate, to protect ourselves. So we are not deceived by shaitan. We are not deceived by shaitan. So shaitan has no horn or identification. Shaitan are insi and jinni. They are like us. And they are also invisible. So we understand all those things. When we keep that in mind, then only we will be able to see Imam during our lifetime. We will have reached to that status where our batni eyes open up. Ainul yaqeen. Imam Hussain ne simare પણ જોયા હતા, પણ તેને એ ખ્યાલ નહીં હતો. Now Imam is giving us reference to Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain was seen by Simar. Simar was, with Yazid. All those who were against Imam, they had seen Imam, but they had not done the khayal. Now, how khayal is related? If we have seen Imam, physically we have seen Imam, but there was no khayal. Let's apply to ourselves. We see Imam, we have had didar of Imam. But have we had any khayal about it, any imagination? How will we have imagination? And if we talk of the world of progression in spirituality, the first is world of knowledge, like we have to seek knowledge, and then second is world of imagination. World of imagination. And imagination doesn't come without knowledge. If we don't have knowledge, there is no world of imagination. So we have to have this knowledge to be able to have this reflection, this ability to imagine, to be able to see. Meaning, eventually, we are talking about the inner eyes. As it is progressed step by step. દુનિયામાં માણસો પણ મુર્તઝા અલીને જોવે છે, પણ હકીકતી બીજી રીતથી જોવે છે. અને મુર્તઝાલીની બહેશ્તમાં કેવી હાલતથી જોવે છે તે તમે જાણો છો. સુભાનઅલ્લાહ. પહેલા જે ઉપર ખુદાની હુઝુરમાં છે અને મોટા દરજે છે તે 5-7 જણા છે. સુભાનઅલ્લાહ. Very beautiful. I'm telling you, this Farman is so amazing. Every Farman we read and it feels like we are learning so many new things. And this is not the first time I hope we are reading this Farman, right? So it is amazing that according to, our abilities, our times, our, time period, our level of knowledge, our seeking, all who are here today, it's all due to you all that Imam is helping us to be able to understand all what is, all the pearls and rubies hidden in this Farman. Imam is now referring to people in the world who had seen Murtazali. But those who are Hakikati, they had also seen Murtazali, but in a very different way, with inner eye. And Imam doesn't stop there. Imam says that these Hakikati see Imam in paradise in a very different way. And then Imam says, you know it. Now here I'm telling you, when Imam says you know it, these are different group of people than those who Imam says do not be using bad words. There are darjat in Jama'at as well. So how Imam continues to give to different levels of mu'minins. પહેલા જે ઉપર ખુદાની હુઝુરમાં છે અને મોટા દરજે છે. And then Imam is giving us, using these words. Look at these words. First, those who are with the Lord, they are with Khudawin, they are on the higher rank. And they are only 5 to 7. So in this Jama'at, it will be very interesting. I wonder if we have our great-grandparents, so we can find out how many people were there. Out of all that number, there were only 5 to 7 people actually. This is Imam speaking to 5 to 7 people who were at that rank. તમે જોવો છો, તમે જાણો છો, you know it, you see it. All others were different levels. So how amazing it is to realize when we read today, when Hazrat Imam gives us Farman, are we able to understand who Imam is speaking to? When we seek knowledge and we listen to the words of the pearls and wisdoms, all those words full of pearls and wisdoms, are we getting it all or are we getting it according to our darja? Have we elevated our darja to be able to understand it all? Because Imam is giving Farman to everybody. But when we are studying it very critically, we are able to tell, no, there are darjat in Jamaat, and Imam is speaking to this darjat. ખુદાની બીક રાખો અને છેલ્લા દમ સુધી બીજો હરફ ના નિકળે તેની બીક રાખો. Now Imam is talking about fear. Fear Allah. Do not fear anybody else. Until your last breath, every breath, make sure that you do not have anybody else's fear. Have that fear in your heart. So we have discussed in Book of Healing, all chapter of Taqwa, that we do not want khawf-e beja. We want khawf-e khuda. Khawf-e beja, fear of people. If I wear this and I go to Jamaat Khana, what people would say? This is an example of khawf-e beja. If people will know about this issue I have, what will people say? Khawf-e beja. I cannot do this. I cannot share this knowledge, or I cannot do this because what people will say. I will not fit in with my friends. Khawf-e beja. I will not fit in with my family. Khawf-e beja. Imam is saying, do not have any other fear. Do not fear people. Fear Lord. Have taqwa. Taqwa is actually ethics. So those who have not listened to that Book of Healing discussion chapter, I would highly recommend you to understand the concept of taqwa, which is purity. And we all are here seeking purity. Inshallah, હંમેશા મુર્તઝાલીને યાદ કરશો અને છેલ્લા દમ સુધી zikr કરશો તો તે હાથ ઝાલશે અને મદદ કરશે. God willing, inshallah. Not that Imam, this is so important. We know Imam is the Aqlikul, Nafsikul. Imam is in total control. Qadir Mutlaq. Imam wants everything can happen. But Imam says no. God willing. Meaning, if we were to have taqwa, if we were to have farman bardari, if we are working on elevating our ranks, increase our worth, walk with the Imam in current time, not desiring to fit in, take all the test, face it of today's time and be ethical, then only you will be with Imam. It is not easy. It is not easy. But Imam is teaching us that yes, I am your Imam, but it depends on your actions. You have to prove with your actions, you have to work hard to be able to be with Imam forever. Here we are seeking this Isme Azam Al-Hayy, the one who is living and who can bring us to life. Those who came early, Kareem Sahib did this zikr, Al-Hayy. And that is what we are referring to here. In this Farman, Imam is exactly saying that, teaching us about that Isme Azam. Hamesha Murtaza Ali ne saath rahe. Hamesha Murtaza Ali ne yaad karo. Those who are always with Imam, meaning they have gone through this miracle of becoming alive. They're always with Imam. If we were to be with Imam and the way we have to remember Imam to become alive, to become one with that Isme Azam Al-Hayy, till the last breath of our life, we will remember him. Then only he will hold our hand and he will help us. Meaning, what does it mean? It means that if we are on the path, we have not reached the final destination, he'll pull us. But if we are not even in the path, we are far below, living the life of a worldly person like anyone, how is going to help hold our hands? If you're listening from one ear and letting it go away from the next ear, he's not going to hold our hand. So he's teaching us very clearly, if you want me to hold your hand, there are a few conditions you have to meet. If you are fulfilling those conditions, then I will definitely hold your hand. There's no doubt about it that Imam will hold your hand. There's no doubt about it. So all this which we are studying and we are understanding the advices of Imam, this is not with an intention of making anybody guilty. Not at all. We all are together one on this path, living this worldly and difficult life. And we have to every second, every moment become mindful to be able to stay on the path of Sirat al-Mustaqim, understanding all the tests in our lives, physical, spiritual, and intellectual, and be farman bardar, being ethical, then only we will be able to stay on the path of elevation, increasing our worth, and Imam will hold our hand. He will not let go of our hand. And that's what we seek from Imam. Ya Mawla, Ya Mawla, we seek your mercy, Mawla, to become truly farman bardar of your faramins, Mawla. Ya Mawla, help us understand your farmans and really, Mawla, make us staunch mu'minin, Mawla. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Shukran lillah, alhamdulillah, shukran lillah, alhamdulillah. So inshallah, next week we will start with the next farman. It seems in December month in Manjari, every day Imam was giving one farman. So we did 10th, 11th, and next week we'll do. And we did 27th December, 28th December, and then 29th December, inshallah. Ji.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Thank you, Niamat Sahib, once again for giving us this very detailed explanation of the Farman. I just wanted to highlight this where Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah talks about having two separate sides to a person, being like a snake, as well as being a dove. And normally people just pick one and they then have that sort of philosophy all the way through, which is not really what we should be doing, as you explained. The snake is a very good example. I think I need to go and find out more about the traits of the snake in terms of how the snake protects and defends itself. Yeah? So that would be very useful in trying to understand exactly what Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah was trying to explain to us. But thank you, that was very useful. Friends, if you have any questions or comments, please come forward.
Yali Madad Niamat Saiba.
Molali Madad Failure.
Niamat Saiba, this Farman was amazing. Lots of value pearls and jewels in it.
Amen.
And something I learned today is how important ek man, having one deal, is so much important for our progress, our personal progress, plus Jamati progress, whole humanity progress, spiritual progress. Like Sahib has also said in one of his Ginan that Kiyamat aake rukti hai, dilon mein jab kasawat hai. So when our hearts are not clean and when we are not united, then we cannot see that spiritual progress. We cannot see that manifestation, the real nur of Mawla, the face of Mawla, So that was such a beautiful concept you pointed today in this small Farman. And then also I like the concept of the ke Akal Saaf Ji Virakri. So yes, I am going to, as Karim Sahib said, that we're going to learn more about the traits of snake, how snake is protecting his, all the treasure. So, जैसा कि कोई चोर आवीने लूटी ना जाए આપણું કશું બી. So Sultan Muhammad Shah has given us examples કે જ્યારે મુસાફરી કરતા હોઈએ and we are in this journey, we are in this ilmi journey, so how we have to protect our own khazana, જે થોડું whatever we have learned, whatever we have gained, એ કેવી રીતે લૂંટાઈ ના જાય આપણું, એ કેવી રીતે પ્રોટેક્ટ કરવાનું, I learned from that કે એ પણ બહુ જ valuable છે. That is so much value કે આપણે પાછા જ્યાં હતા ત્યાં ના પડી જઈએ. So we have to keep gaining and progressing. So એ કેવી રીતે આપણે એને protect કરવાનું આપણી જાતને. So I like that concept too. So thank you very much for explaining and going in detail in this Farman. And also the Satgur Kahere part that you referred to, કે સતગુરુ કહે રે જેને કલેજે બાણ લાગ્યા નેહતના તેની દ્રષ્ટિ અવર કેમ જાય તેનું પિંડ ચાલે મૃત્યુ લોગમાં તેની સુરતી આકાશે જાય. So we are living in this world, we are living in the material world, but how we can keep our surati? So surati is the vision. How we can keep our vision for our spiritual progress all the time. So that was very beautiful you explained. So shukran alhamdulillah. Thank you.
Subhanallah, thank you, Ferial. It was beautiful what you spoke to. Thank you.
Nina Saiba, you have raised your hand.
I have Yali Madad Neva Saiba.
Molali
I
Madad.
have a question. I always have questions, don't I? There are 313 more means without whom the world would not exist, Mullah has said once. Now, you also mentioned 313 more means with one mind. So would that be different groups of 313 more means, or is that the same group that Mullah was referring to earlier on?
So in this Farman, it is evident that it is not same group, but the numbers are same, meaning Imam is highlighting that if we were to read that Farman where Imam says that this world would not last without 313 mu'mineen, meaning those 313 mu'mineen are so one heart, one mind, one mission focused with Imam, that it is because of them there are manifestation in the world. Those high-ranking souls in this world, it is because of them, their prayers and their, ibadat, bandagi, their knowledge, their working with the mission of Imam, that there is Qiyamat happening, resurrection happening. Zahurat happening, meaning resurrection happening, manifestation happening. So in one Farman, Imam is saying, teaching us that there has to be 313 mu'mineen, because they are, with their one heart, they can destruct the whole universe and rebuild it. That's what Imam says actually. Because of their one-heartedness, they can, destruct the whole world and rebuild it. And here Imam is saying that it is so difficult, like making us understand that even if we think of 300 mu'mineens, and remember, if you look at the timeline, in 1893, Imam is teaching us that to have one heart, one mind, ek dil, for 313 mu'mineen is very difficult. Later on, Imam actually speaks about, guides about 313 mu'mineen are capable of destructing this whole world and rebuilding it. And without them, this world would not last. So Imam is, there are two different things. Number one, I hope you understand, but Imam is also guiding that how we all have to become one heart, and if we understand the meaning of it, what is one heart, referring again to, Gadire Khum's time, because that is historically, it's our, kind of recent past that we see that how the test time came in and how very few were with Maula Ali. Majority were with Abu Bakr. So these are the tests which we see in history. And in every time, we have to, with the knowledge, be able to identify the tests and pass the tests. Then only we can be worthy to be in counts of those 313 mu'mineen. I hope this helps, Nina.
Yes, it does. Thank you. But my question also was, is there just one group of 313 mu'mins at any given time? Although Maulana Sultan Muhammad Shah says it's very, very, very difficult, but can there be more than one group of 313 mu'mins?
There has to be one group, 313. I mean, out of all the mu'mineen, 313. But it can be more, because in the time of Qiyamah, Imam has come so close to us. There are no hududs in between. Imam's mercy is upon us, and there can be more in numbers. Numbers can be more depending on his mercy. But it is one group of people who are united and with one mission, with one heart, with Imam.
Thank you. Thank you.
There's a question in the chat. It's not very clear, but I will just read it out. When you say only 4 or 5 persons reach Mawla, are we talking about in this cycle? So I don't think...
So I think they're referring to the Farman, the way Imam had mentioned that 5 to 7 people, meaning it's not about in this cycle, it was actually directing to that Jama'at sitting there. Imam is teaching us. And today, 2023, we are learning that there are very few actually. There are very few who really elevate themselves. So it's not about numbers as per se, because numbers we can also think of number as figurative speech. But the focus, the essence here is that majority remains ignorant. That's what Imam is saying. And that is the Qanun, law given in Quran as well, that majority remains ignorant. It is always minorities. Like we can count them in our fingers and say, that many only? So 5 to 7 is such a low number, right? It is a low number. Look at the whole humanity. Out of the humanity, how many Muslims are there? And then from Muslims, Ismailis are like literally 1 grain of salt. 1 grain of salt. Very, very few. Now within the Jama'at, now how would you cut that 1 grain of salt to have this, imagine mathematical fractions? How would you do that to see that they are really on the path? Negligible amount. Invisible probably. If you cut that grain of salt, physically, I'm just trying to give an example in imagination, we won't be able to even see that. That's what Imam is saying, that there are so few. Ji.
We have another question here which says, so when we are surrounded by not like-minded people, which disturbs us, is that a test?
100%, definitely. It is a test. How would we remain protective of our energies? Because what happens when you are around people who are very worldly or say, very anxious, and if you are with zikr ibadat, your heart is very much opened, you will absorb their energies. So you not only have to be with that person, protect your energy, help them as well, and guard your energies as well. It is a test. It is a definite test. There's no doubt about it. Ji.
Ji, okay. I think that is it. There was a comment.
I see, Karim, now. I see here in the chat now that someone is referring to a Boli missionary.
Ji.
And he said, Chani, where did it go? Chani thi chanela, momin reshe. Yeah, this is very, very important. Chani thi chanela. Chani meaning, I do not know how many of you drink tea. In olden, everybody's coffee drinker, very few. So when you take a strainer, okay, if you let's say if you made 1 cup of tea with a tea powder and you are straining, all that strain, you will have the tea powder in the strain. That example of filtering of chani is that thing which we use, it's called chani, that you have to realize that filtration after filtration, meaning we have something, let's say, think of that filter which is used to separate gold when the miners take out the gold as a metal, and it is all mixed with the rocks, and they strain it so much strain that the small particles of gold remain, and then there is gold. In the time of Qiyamah, this is going on, filtration is going on. There'll be, every point in time, there'll be a test and there'll be filtration. Some will pass the test, majority will fail. Again, then there will be a test. Some will pass the test, majority will fail. Meaning, take the example of, we have, 1 liter, 1 kilo of whatever milk, right? And we boil it. When we boil the milk, the cream is only on the top, 1 layer of cream. Meaning the whole milk is just fluid, but the cream is only on the top. You separate that cream, now you churn it, again going through filtration process. If you make a ghee out of it, the ghee is less than the cream, or butter less than the cream. Why? These are the example of getting to the essence, in the form of physical example of getting to the essence of the milk, or in terms of momini. Every time there are different types of tests and you have to pass all the tests. That is why Imam has taught us actually in this Farman, that ask, Ya Mawla, do not test us, do not test us. But that does not mean that the tests are not there. Tests are there physically, spiritually, and intellectually. And we have to pass the test to be able to remain on the right path. So yes, you're very right. Chani thi chanela. It's a very beautiful way of saying in Gujarati. The chani thi chanela momin reshe. Very true.
We have another question in the chat. If we are in astral bodies, what do souls do in the spiritual worlds? What are the daily tasks of these souls?
Subhanallah, that's a beautiful question. So in astral body, what do they do? Actually, Imam Maula Ali has told us in Kalam-i Maula, when he says, ilm ni majlis, bihish ni wadi. Meaning, if you are sitting in the ilm classes, it is as if we are sitting in paradise. So does it not answer us what will be happening in paradise? Exactly the same thing. Exactly the same thing. We will be sitting in the knowledge classes. So those who are here seeking knowledge, and they will go with this earning of knowledge, probably they'll be teaching. And those who do not will be learning. Learning has to be done. Recognition has to be attained. Without the recognition of Imam, it is not happening that we become one with Imam. It's not happening. So do it here or do it there. It has to be done. Here it is very fast. It is really, we can expedite our journey. We can expedite our journey to be one with Imam there and be in the ranks of teachers. But if we don't learn here, we will not be with Imam, and we do not know where the ranks will be, in which grade. Let's think of, school or college system, right? First grade, second grade, third grade, darjat. There are darjat in paradise as well. So which rank would you like to be going into? You decide. You want to go to the college, university? Imam will be with university, the highest most level, right? We can take this worldly example and think like that. So if you want to be with Imam, you got to be having the knowledge of the university level. If not, then yeah, first grade, second grade, Imam is not there. We are all in paradise. We are with Imam, but not close to Imam. So what do you want? You decide. Ji. Exactly. Ilm wali ruh darja ba darja upar chalti. You got this.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. Friends, any other questions or comments before we close the session?
I think I've answered that, Karim. Let us close the session.
Okay.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, Karim.
Thank you, Niamat Saiba, for a wonderful session. Thank you, friends, for joining. And inshallah,
Thank you,
we'll see you
Madad.
next
Yali
week.
madad.
Thank you.
Yali madad.
Yali madad.
Yali madad.
Yali madad.
Yani madad, Mama.
Yali
Yani
madad.
madad.
Yali madad.
Yali madad.
Yali madad.
Thank you. Thank you, Yali Madad.
Yali madad. Yali madad.
Yali
Thank
madad,
you,
Mama.
Yali
Yali
Thank you.
madad Gulzar. Yali madad.
Yali madad, Mama.